Welcome to another Demarcation Media model kit slash Mega Construx review. So you guys may remember there are those Iron Man figures on Aliexpress that are like larger mega figures. Well, they are back with Spider-Man figures. So today we're going to be looking at a full case. So this box is still not sporting much of a brand. We get to see the figures. We get to see the size. We get to see there's 6 figures. These aren't blind boxes, as far as I'm aware. Get to see some more over here. Very minimal branding overall. It just says Marvel. There's no brand. I still don't know who's making these. They might be hidden amongst the Chinese stuff on the box, but I cannot read that. Oh, wait. Is that a brand? Yuanye? That might be the brand. Not like that's going to help all that much, because searching that is not really going to give you many results. If you were to live somewhere that actually stocked these in stores, this is what you would find. So we have, again, like I said, not blind boxes. They are just kind of large labeled boxes. So we got Black Suit Spider-Man. We've got Venom. Got Doc Ock. There we go. That one was backwards. We got Spidey. I do not think you can get that pose. His legs are bending way more than I think these joints allow. And then we've got Miles and Goblin. So let's pop one of these open and see what it looks like. Pretty nice detail on the box. Nothing that we haven't seen already though. So let's go ahead and give this tape a slice. Very similar to the Iron Man boxes. Then inside, oh, interesting, okay. So it looks like we will have to assemble most of it. And then we have a, whoa, all right then. That's a bit over the top, in a good way, in a very good way. And then we've got the instructions. Okay, so I'm gonna put these together. There will be a short showing off the full build process if you wanna see that. And we will come back as soon as these are all put together. So there are all the figures put together, and most of the figures are generally the same. Venom is very, very different. You assemble him entirely different from all the others, and then Doc Ock has a million little sections to put into his arms. Now, I'm going to grab a couple of these guys, and we're going to do some size comparisons, because size is really important here. Golly, okay. The Chinese companies, I will just say this, with these kits, they have no sense of scale whatsoever. So the first thing I want to establish is obviously how big are these guys compared to Mega, and they basically have been doubled in size. So this is still Mega's system, but it's been upscaled significantly. So these are not, unfortunately, compatible. What is extra unfortunate, well, I mean, okay, this is kind of compatible, the Iron Man figures with the Spider-Man figures. I feel that the proportions of the Spider-Man don't match well with the Iron Man, and that the head is too big to really have them side by side. That's kind of up to you to fully decide, but you can see they are pretty comparable in height for the most part. And then here's a Blockies figure, just because I have a lot of those and I happen to have one on hand. And then we have a Marvel Legends Miles. Now, that's not a huge Marvel Legends figure, but you can see this guy comes up about to his hip. And then we're going to swap out for Venom. Now, Venom is actually smaller in some cases. So he fits with this system, but he's also the same height, which means he's a little small for Venom. So out of all of these guys, I actually think this one works the best with Mega. So he doesn't really work with Iron Man. I mean, maybe you could get away with that. I don't really think that looks great. But look at that. That actually works out pretty well. Like, you could have your Marines or Covenant fighting off Venom, and he's giant, and that works out pretty much perfectly in my opinion. So scale is a bit weird, a bit all over the place. And I mean, like I said, these do look fine side by side, but Venom can fit way more places than these guys. So let's just go through the figures one by one. Here is normal Spider-Man, and the big thing with this guy is there's a lot of variation in the red between this piece and this piece and this piece and this piece. It's a bit of a mess, not gonna lie. It's not a deal breaker. The figure is still a lot of fun, but it's definitely a bit of a mess. His face is done decently well. There's definitely a little bit of overspill. You get a pair of web shooting hands, a pair of fists, and then a pair of weird clip hands. You also get a web. You get a web line. You get a clip to attach the web to the web line, and then you also get suction cups so that you can put suction cups like on the feet, I guess. You get 4 suction cups. I don't really know why you get 4. I don't know where the other ones go because they can't go on the hands. But hey, you can stick him to things if you so choose. Articulation. So the arms can go up to about there, so he can't really T-pose. Plenty of arm bend, a little past 90. You get the ab crunch, which is new. The Iron Man figures didn't have that. The head cannot go up very much, but it can go down a good bit. You can rotate it all the way around. The legs can stick out to the sides about that far. They can go out to the back about that far unless you start bending it out to the sides like that. And you can get up to about that far, which is pretty good. And then he's got a decent knee bend. You will see some separation there at the knees, but that's not too bad. So overall, I'm actually pretty happy with the articulation. It's pretty fun. Obviously, it's not import figure level, but it is pretty decent. I don't love how giant the feet are. I will say that. Well, okay. I don't love how giant the feet are in terms of the looks, but it does make for posing them. That actually helps stabilize him quite a bit. So I guess it's a good thing. Miles is literally identical to Peter, except for obviously he's in the Miles color scheme, and I think he looks fantastic. I really love this. I'm actually very pleased with this. The eyes are done pretty well. He's got the shoulders with the print on it. He's got the molded spider around the back. That actually is different. Hang on. I was said exactly the same, but that's actually incorrect. He has a different torso. So that's pretty cool, and he's got different arms. So he actually is quite different. He's got some print for his feet. I think he looks pretty good. He comes with the same array of accessories, the web, the hands, everything. Suction cups, nothing new in terms of accessories. Black suit Spider-Man. This is a little weird because he actually has an entirely different head. This is a much smaller head. I don't really know why they chose to do this because now he looks a little strange alongside the other Spider-Man. He, again, cannot look up very well, but he does get downward movement pretty good. The chest is done quite nicely. That's a 3-dimensional spider that's printed white. Around the back, we get just a little white spider symbol. The legs are pretty much the same, and the articulation for the rest of him is pretty much the same. He has the same accessories, same web line, all that. I don't know why they chose to do that tiny head. I will say, though, this whole figure, if you were to paint some silver on here, it would look like the Spider Armor Mark 1. So maybe they'll do that in a future wave. Again, I don't get the head. Why is the head smaller? Doc Ock is by far the worst figure in this wave. He is very soft plastic. The yellow is not done that well. His head, I had to heat up to even get it on. He's just not done that great. The face needed, I don't know. It just is bad. It's not that great. The arms are pretty cool, though. They're very articulated. They have the little articulating clamps. So that's slick. I was hoping that he would be done better because those arms are pretty cool. Those arms are the only accessories he has aside from the clip hands. I don't really know why you'd want the clip hands. These are just a bunch of ball joints that pop together. Yeah, I don't love this guy. He's just not, he doesn't feel that great of quality. And actually the packaging shows almost like a ab joint there, and it's not, there's no ab joint. So yeah, he's just kind of poor quality. Green Goblin. So he comes with his glider and a little thing so you can put it onto his stand. All the figures have the same stand, by the way, same printed stand. So he has his glider, he can stand on his glider. Not much detail on the glider, but there are 2 studs. Goblin himself He's decent. He's definitely a lot softer than the Spider-Man figures for some reason, much like Doc Ock. I don't know why they chose to make the villains a soft, I've heard some other people describe it as eraser material. I don't think it's quite that soft, but yeah, it's very soft for some reason. His head has good color separation. These armor bits were added on. He's got his pouch. The softness really just gets on my nerves. He comes with a suspiciously plasma grenade looking pumpkin bomb, so that's kind of cool. Overall, nice, but I just wish that they had done the same plastic as the Spidey figures. I don't get why they chose to make him so soft. And then the one everybody's probably going to want, which is Venom. So he's got a lot of specialized pieces, not a ton of use of the Mega System. The wrists for his big hands are the Mega System, so they move a little bit. And then the tendrils on his back articulate using Mega's joint system. So that's pretty cool. You can move those all over the place. They can also rotate a bit. Print for his little spider logo. The arms have, let's see, if we don't hit the tendrils on the back, the arms can go out to, well, I said out to that way, but I ended up detaching it. But out to about here, bend about 90. The wrist can rotate and then move a little bit. He's got a ab joint, so that's a double ball peg in there. So that's pretty neat. His head moves around. Now, his head doesn't, like, the mouth doesn't open, but it's in a couple pieces, so you could probably assemble the head without the tongue if you wanted that. And then for the legs, you get up decently far, round back. He doesn't move much because he's got some massive cheeks that are in the way. He has a bit of a rotation at the knee, and then you get about that much of a bend, and then the feet are on ball joints. So honestly, I couldn't really ask for better articulation. Like, this is some A-tier articulation for this whole figure. All 6 of these figures cost me $20. They come, that full case, $20. So for $20, I'm very happy with these. The quality of the Spider-Man figures is pretty good. I'm even more happy with the quality than I was with those Iron Man figures. Goblin and Ock, not great. The plastic's too soft. Venom, fantastic, very well engineered, works well with these guys, and works well with Mega. So overall, I would rank this pretty highly in terms of the random stuff that I found on Aliexpress. I'm looking forward to seeing what else this company does, and I hope that whenever they release the further stuff, because I saw prototypes for Avengers and whatnot, I hope that they keep it generally the same scale so that, you know, we don't have too much weirdness when it comes to the different sizes. So let me know. Is this something that you're going to pick up? Do you like the way these figures look? Do you like the extra articulation? Or do you not? I look forward to hearing your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.